And open your eyes. Happy Saturday. How are you? So today we are now in the Pisces sun. Pisces, yay, are you a Pisces? God bless you. And you, yay, let's hear it for the Pisces. It's funny, I have an Aquarius sun, but it's in a house with 3 planets in Pisces, and it's in the 8th house of death and other people's money. I don't know, what is that supposed to mean? Sex, death, and other people's money is where all the juice, I guess. I'm going to be killing off a lot of people. No. But kindly. But the biggest thing is Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. And all of these signs are in us, right? All the houses and all the signs live within us. And I bring it up in Kundalini because they paid a lot of attention to these kinds of things, because Kundalini is all about angles and also pressure. Just like the planets and signs make pressure on your soul to become whatever it was supposed to come. You know, Swami Shvetashwar says we transcend our horoscope. But in the meantime, it's just like karma. It's part of the energy and the stuff that we use to create a dross and alchemy that would cause us to either get in so much pain, there's no other choice but to break through. You know, sometimes when you see someone's chart that has a lot of squares, you know, you're like, ooh, well, good luck, you know. But that's a soul, according to Yogananda and Yogi Bhajan, that came signed up. You know, I want it to square me. I want it to push me. I want it to wake me up. But we also deserve those lives that are kind of like trines. You know, my daughter's kind of like that. Everything just works for Treasure. Even when you look at it and you're like, this should not be working. I, as her mother, don't want it to work, so she'll suffer a little and get off her, you know what. But that doesn't happen to her. It's just not that kind of life. And so if you're in that, you know, it's like, that's also perfect, you know. I don't know what that's like because I'm a squared girl. You can even kind of look at me and tell I'm like, you know, something's supposed to happen to her, you know. But one of the trines in my life is being married to Mahendraj Singh. It's the easiest thing, really. And sometimes I feel like when I see people who go through a lot of whatever they do in marriage. My first one was like that, so it's not like it's all been easy. But it's easy. It's easy to be his wife, you know. And, but with that comes being present and not forgetting to be grateful. And not forgetting how much I value him. You know, and the truth of it is like, you know, he's the one that taught me yoga first. He's the one that taught yoga at home. He has this steadiness. Like, I would like to meditate, but not actually move. He made me move, you know. And now I know, you know, he's got like 700 hours of yoga training, you know, and so he's like always thinking of this different outside the box. And let's just only do it this way. And every time I think we got it straight, he's, you know. So last night he's calling me after, you know, 4 hours of Kundalini, and he's all into Ang Sang Wahe Guru. And so guess what we're going to do today? Ang Sang Wahe Guru. And it's like a love note from the universe, that mantra. It's really about connecting to when we know we're God and we're fearless and we love everyone this way, that we change the course of not only our lives but humanity. And that really is the invitation. And that is why we're here in Kundalini, is to rattle off where we're scared, to softly sand off where we still separate ourselves, where we're afraid to be led somewhere that feels scary. You know, we signed up for this show. So maybe today we're going to, the first experience, we're going to do Ang Sang Wahe Guru twice. The first one, we're going to do this arc line clearing. I love that. And we're going to feel like we're scooping up our karma and just throwing it over our shoulder. And when we do that, it's like, yeah, I know exactly. And don't be afraid in the back row that you're getting all of our, you know. It just keeps going, and it actually gives you a good push. It's all good. You're a Pisces. You can handle it. No, just kidding. So we're going to do that, and we're going to just keep building this energy to be free. You know, and I really invite you today to see where it is that, because this is really about oneness, you know. Where is it that you draw the line so that you can feel separate? And how is that going for you, you know? There really was some reasons why we do that, but now it's like life is going to keep pushing us not to do it. And it's precarious. It's precarious in business, right? Well, I need to be the best and be like separate so I can get my customer? What if that's not true? Or don't I have to be this or that to be loved? And what if, well, no, everybody around you is just as lovable? And can we feel safe in that? I think the only way we feel safe in it is if we hold hands and we step there together. You know, they talk about this awakening into the Aquarian age, and we really could have ascended on that December 12th, 2012. And you know why we didn't? Because people like you said, I'm not going anywhere until we all go. And I think that's true. And no matter how hard your life gets and who's hard in your life, there's a part in all of us that says, you know what? I'm not going anywhere until we all live in that love. And I obviously have this situation in my life because I need to learn this. And less resistance, less persistence, and before we know it, we're standing in love together. So that's the juice of Ang Sang Wahe Guru. And there's lots of good stuff that I wrote down from Yogi Bhajan that I'm going to keep giving to you. He really talks about this important thing. How what we say is the biggest scar that lives in our field. But what's worse is what we think about people and don't say, but we go, and we think it again, think it again. And I'm not talking about the good things, obviously, right? And who do we think negatively about most often?
Ourselves.
Yeah. And then it just stays in there, and it roots, and it festers, and then we can't help but speak from that, act from that. We don't mean to. But we don't have any choice. Now, Ang Sang Wahe Guru and the things we're going to do with it in class today, Yogi Bhajan says, goes below that into your subconscious, shoves that thing in the subconscious that's making that happen to the surface. So that's why sometimes in Kundalini, when you first start, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month later, you're like, ah! Relax. It won't last. It does tend to take a bunch of subconscious up to the top, but then it goes away, and you usually have a good pink cloud for a while. But then you're back in it. But today, we're going to dig in there, but do the Kriya to dissipate it and find that self-love. And really let it be okay that those things are underneath the mud, because just like the lotus, that's what makes you beautiful. It really is your crap that makes you so cute. You wouldn't be that interesting if you didn't have it. So we're going to bring it up and love it to pieces. Okay? So put your hands on your lap. Close your eyes. Actually, take your left hand and then your right hand to your heart. And just take some deep breaths, pressing into the heart, and make a promise here that on this Saturday morning for the next hour and 15 minutes, we're going to be loving to ourselves. And we're going to take this ride together into Ang Sang Wahe Guru.